Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2025 Hyundai Elantra N. Huge shout out to Flo Hyundai of Statesville for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at the website, that link is down in the description. This N is finished off in a cyber gray. It has an MSRP at just over $36,000. This is powered by the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This model here is also paired to the 6-speed manual transmission. It pumps out 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the front wheels, propelling this 3,300-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 12.4 gallons. You'll expect to see 21 miles per gallon in the city, 29 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 107.1 inches. Its overall length is 184.1. It has a width of 71.9 and a height of 55.7 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, this has a very distinctive front end, and it has a great combo with all of the red accents. So you'll notice that in the lower section of the bumper, where there's also gloss black and a lot of inlets to provide cooling to all of the components up front. There's also parking sensors too, and then LEDs for all of the lighting. They have a dark housing to them, which matches nicely with the upper section, and there's also a chrome trim piece that runs from headlight housing to headlight housing. You'll notice that the Hyundai badge is also blacked out, and then there's very crisp lines coming down the hood to give it a great look. That red also works its way to the lower side skirts, where there's also an N stamped in that front section there. There's also red and the N logo for the brake calipers. This also has matte black for the wheels with that multi-spoke design. You'll notice gloss black for the side mirrors. It's also on all of the window trim. And then more of those angled lines work their way down the side. Very nice indentations in that front door and just splitting off to the back here to give it a great look. Now this Elantra N also has a gloss black trunk mounted spoiler. There's the backup camera, LEDs for all of the lighting, including the strip that runs through the trunk lid. And then there's more gloss black for the bumper, all the parking sensors, and the dual exhaust on both sides there. Now, working our way to the cargo space, you can use the button on the key fob or the hidden button just up underneath the Hyundai logo. And then you have a good bit of storage for this model. Now, it is worth noting that you can fold down the back seats. However, you will notice there's a strut brace to give this vehicle added rigidity, but you could still place some items through there as needed. There's also some storage underneath the floor, so you can use that as needed. And you also get this cargo net, so you can place items in that as well. Now, there's no grab handles up top, but you can easily just grab on the trunk lid. It's very lightweight, so that is easy to close. You still have a lot of practicality in the cargo space. Now, this model also has a very nice interior. You'll notice the alcantara along with some leather. You have a little bit of storage down below, and then a very nice set of leather and alcantara seats with all of the blue stitching. Now, at 5'10", I have a good bit of space in the back. You'll notice in the middle you have 2 USB-Cs. I have plenty of legroom, and at my height, I'm just barely up against the headliner here, but I can sit upright and ride around. So for this smaller size sedan, it's really not bad for adults in the back. And then the entire back, as you saw earlier, folds down as one. So you don't have armrests or anything in the middle that fold out there. And then working your way up front, you have more of the alcantara. This also has Bose for the audio. There's all the window controls, side mirror adjustments, your release there. And then the front seats are manually adjusting. They have a very nice sporty design to them, and it's very easy to enter this as well. Now, once inside, we're greeted with a solid and perforated leather steering wheel. But let's start this up with my foot on the brake and the clutch. We can bring this to life. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster now, on the left side, you'll see miles per hour and fuel. The right side, there's tach and engine temperature. You can also go through information right in the middle by using controls on the right side of the steering wheel. You also have volume along with some cruise control settings, your steering assist. And then on the left side, you have mode, Bluetooth, voice commands, and then volume tuning and a favorites. But coming back to that information now, you can easily scroll through all of this, just depending on what you would like to see. There's also some more vitals here that you can scroll down, including a G-force meter there. And then you have some normal trip information and then 2 other settings there. Now you also have massive N logos on both sides. So when you push on these, on the left one, this is how you can get into the driving modes. So you have Eco, Normal, and Sport. And then when you push on the one on the right, this will change the gauge cluster. So now you have the tach front and center along with what gear you're in. You can also see how the vehicle is currently set up for the engine, steering, and suspension. So very nice that you have that along with a few modes within that so you can customize them, and then you can get back into your normal daily driving settings. There's also a rev button for active rev matching, so you can turn that on and off. Now on the left side, there's traction control along with a dimmer switch for the gauges. You have one air vent there, and then working our way to the infotainment system, you have a lot more that you can go through. So for this calm screen, you have some info on that left side there, and then you can also get into all of the icons. You can enter N mode, which is how you can go through some of this information. You can set everything up the way that you would like. From the exhaust, your limited slip, you have engine, steering, suspension, you have launch control that you can get into. So very neat that you can do all of that with this sedan. You can also get into a few of these other settings here. You have a lot more icons, and there's even some physical controls down below. So that way you can easily get into all this information, and you have power and volume right in the middle. Now underneath that, there's another LCD screen for all of the climates. You have temperatures, fan speed, where you like the air to go. This even has heated seats. You have some defrosters there. You have a lot of auxiliaries down below, including wireless charging with additional storage. You also have another control for the driving modes, so you can use that one as needed. It will also change on the right side of the infotainment system. You have parking sensors along with a shortcut to the camera system, so you can pull that up where you just have the backup camera. In order to do that with reverse, simply just pull up underneath the shifter, go to the left and up, and that's how you can go into reverse. And then of course you have the rest of the 6 gears that you can operate. You do have a cup holder storage where you have this insert for some smaller items, a little bit of storage there. You have the manual e-brake. You get a little bit of storage in the armrest along with storage in the glove box there. And then you have your rear view mirror and dome lights up top. And then here's a look at visibility where you have a lot of glass. It's very easy to see over that right side, and then same with over the left side. You can even see out of the rear glass that way too. As we set up behind the wheel now for the Elantra N, I don't have that much experience driving this particular model. My brother's been able to review them quite a bit. He's made some comparisons with some other competitors, so take a look at those if you are interested in this vehicle and what it has to offer. But first impressions basically for today, this is a really nice vehicle. For its pricing too, from watching his videos, this has a good bit of performance to it if you're kind of on a budget. Now, 36 grand is still a good bit of money, of course, but for what you are getting, especially in today's world with cars that are, going higher in horsepower, higher in price, things like that, you are going to get a very sporty, family-focused sedan. It's small, but it could still work for added people, of course, with extra storage, things like that. And you can still get a manual transmission. So if you don't, you can go the 8-speed dual clutch, or you can get this 6-speed manual, which I think is very fun, especially for a car like this. It doesn't have a crazy amount of horsepower and torque, so it allows you to utilize the gears even more and just have that driver-focused vehicle. Along with that, you have all of those different settings that you can go through. And I currently have it in whatever it defaulted to with everything. So it's all in the highest setting right now under N mode. So we have basically the stiffest suspension, we have the exhaust, the limited slip, everything is in Sport or Sport Plus. So on this bumpy road here, it seems okay. Obviously you can put everything into more of a comfort setting, just depending on how you're driving for the day and the roads that you are on. But even technology like that for this pricing is very impressive to see. Now, in terms of just driving it for this quick test drive today, it seems very nice. It was what you would expect for a vehicle like this, but we also have just so much to it for the money that's very impressive. And it's very easy to rev match too. You can turn that on, of course, if you would like, but the clutch is pretty lightweight. The shifter is very engaging too. So even if this might be your first manual, it's a very easy vehicle to learn how to drive. Even if you've been driving manuals, it's still an easy manual to drive as well. And we'll give it a minor acceleration here, back into N mode. It's not crazy loud. Now, obviously, I'm not really ripping it today, and you could put on an aftermarket exhaust if you wanted it to be a little bit louder, but it sounds pretty good for being stock here. And these seats are also very comfortable. I like how aggressive these bolsters are, but I fit in them very nicely. So this would make for a comfortable daily driving seat. And with everything still in the Sport Plus settings from second gear, here we go. And just a mild acceleration. This would definitely be a very fun vehicle to do some more performance driving with. Hopefully we will get one as a press vehicle, so that way we can take it to the mountains and really experience the performance that this has. But for normal daily driving, seems like a very fun vehicle. I like all of the tech features that it has as well, so it just makes it that much more of a great daily, one that you can absolutely drive every single day and just have a blast with. It's very practical for its size. Let's take it out of N mode so I can talk about just what it's like in all of the normal settings, so we can put it back into comfort and just experience the smoother ride that it has, which I think is nice that you can go through all of that. And as far as its turning radius goes, it seems like the steering is pretty tight, a little bit on the heavy side, but that's what you want if you're doing some performance style driving, of course. So that was pretty easy there. And it would definitely make for a great daily. I think this is a fun vehicle. I wish I could do some more performance driving with it, but definitely something to consider, especially for its pricing. And again, not being the fastest sedan out there, but definitely one that speed isn't everything. Having the manual, driver-focused vehicle, learning how to drive the vehicle, do some performance driving with it, you can really start to learn the handling characteristics and just driving in general with a vehicle like this. So you can absolutely have a blast with this car, just learning it and experiencing what this has to offer. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 Hyundai Elantra N. Once again, a huge shout out to Flo Hyundai of Statesville for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.